Hi guys, it's Shay. Okay, so, and not all of you are going to be on board with this one, but one of the major issues we have after recovery, especially if you are in the boat that I'm in, and that's the boat where you can't work. Years after your surgery, you're still not able to work, or you're having a very big difficulty finding work that is within your limitations. Sometimes you will get the assistance from, say, if it's a WSIB case, you get the assistance from them to help you find work. Another thing is to try and find a disability organization that is in your area that can help you find work and get you in touch with different services. I haven't had a chance to get in touch with them myself because I've had other places that have assisted me, but I will be in the process of doing that myself, and I will update you on how that goes in many videos from now, hopefully soon, but chances are it's going to be a little while from now. Anyways, so the point is that you get really bored. If you don't have people, especially if you're not close to family and friends and you live in an area where you're a little bit more isolated, boredom is a big issue. And I have a penchant for creativity. I like being creative. I've always been a person who's been very crafty. You know, when you're a kid, you make friendship bracelets. I was crazy for that. I'm not a very good, drawer, but I do like to doodle sometimes when I get bored or when I'm just, thinking. So I did do that. Or when they came out with that big craze, the looms, the elastic band looms that the kids were going crazy about, I'll be honest, even as an adult, I bought a set, which I would like to sell now because that's not really a thing anymore. But having something creative to do, or even just something I can just fiddle with and work on while watching TV, really kind of helped me, I want to say, wind down and just relax. Pardon me. When you have chronic pain, and I've mentioned this multiple times, and I'll probably continue to mention this, our lives seem to be completely consumed by that pain, to the point where it's hard to do anything else, especially multitasking. Do not multitask when you have chronic pain. And the reason why is because you will never finish one task. You will start one task and then you will get distracted, start another task, and then you will realize that you now have 10 tasks that haven't been completed, and you're sitting there going, well, shit. I should have probably finished the first task before I went to the next one. But that's just the way our mind is, because we're in so much pain. Our mind is literally firing off a million thoughts at once just to try and get our mind off of what we're feeling. And that's kind of like our brain's defense mechanism to what we're going through. Because right now it's going, oh my God, we're in pain. Mayday, mayday, mayday. We have to do something. The pain is too much. And then it goes, oh, a butterfly. Oh, a TV show. Oh, I need to make a list for tomorrow. Oh, I need to do this. And that's literally how your brain is. And it drives you mental, trust me. When you realize that you have a million things you have to do and you're like, well, maybe if I had just finished each thing when I was supposed to, instead of starting something new halfway through, I wouldn't be in this mess. So finding creative outlets really helps. And yes, a lot of times we're thinking, when you think creative outlets and you think of doodling or drawing or something artistic, you also think about the fact that you have to use your hands. And the first thing you think of is oh, well, I'm in a lot of pain. I don't think I could sit there and do anything with my hands because it hurts too much. And you know what? You're right. But the risk of not attempting to do anything with your hands puts you in a really bad position. And I'll tell you what. It doesn't necessarily cause your muscles to die. But there's a reason why astronauts, for example, when they come back from space, their muscles I'm trying to think of the word. Oh my goodness, atrophy. Or atrophy, sorry. There's a reason why, and it's because they're in no gravity for one thing, but they're not using their muscles the same way we do here. So, and that's also a reason why people in a coma have to go through, when they wake up, have to go through a long period of time of physiotherapy. It's because our muscles tend to atrophy. And it does that because they're not being used. So when we avoid tasks, and avoid doing things like doing basic like care is like dishes and laundry, those kind of things, we kind of have to for our own health and survival, basically. But we also need to feed our heart and our soul and our minds. It's not just our bodies and our basic needs that we need to do. We also need to feed the rest of us. So what I like to do, and I mentioned, is I like to do creative things. And it's because that's something I enjoy, and it helps keep my mind calm and focused and in a healthy place. So the depression that I have and I suffer with, and the anxiety that I suffer with because of this condition is a little less, or at least for that moment, it's at bay. So I'll give you an example. My sister-in-law is pregnant. We are expecting another little one. So she has two or one already. So this will be her second, which means I'm going to be an aunt again. And it's going to be a boy. I'm all excited because we have one girl and now it's going to be a boy. So we have one of each. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to learn something new. And that's another thing that's good for you. Learning new things can be good too. So I figured I'm going to learn how to crochet. It's a little harder. It's a lot easier. I have to say one thing. It is easier than knitting. Knitting involves a lot of just stuff and motions with your wrist. Crocheting is a little bit more simplified. So especially if you do like a simple pattern and not doing too many extra stuff, it's real easy. And I literally will only do maybe an hour or so a day while watching TV, so that I don't overdo myself. And I've expected my hands to be in a lot of pain, but I've actually found that they're not that bad. And I've gone through a lot of, most days I'm actually fine. The odd day it's been a rough day, but it's usually pretty good. So anyways, so this is what I have so far. It's really long, but it's actually helped, and it's really easy to do. And it also makes me feel good about myself, which is another thing we go through. The depression kind of makes you down on yourself. So it makes me feel good about myself that I am making something by myself for someone I love. Even though I haven't met him yet, but I love him. Anyways, so that's kind of a thing. It's a happy thing because it's an update on the fact that I have found something new to occupy my time. I found something new to look forward to and to learn and to enjoy. So I'm not just sitting here like a zombie watching TV doing nothing. I am also using my brain. Because I have to say, when you watch TV and watch movies, you're not really using your brain. Your brain is actually quite relaxed. You are focused, but you're not challenging your brain. You're not doing Sudoku or crosswords or anything like that where you have to think. Because our brain needs to exercise too. And a lot of people don't think about that because it's just there. We just do what we need to do and that's it. You have to exercise your brain too. And that's why people with Alzheimer's are actually, or people that might get Alzheimer's, actually can prolong the time period of not getting it, so they can actually lessen the amount, the chances of getting it by exercising their brain. They actually did studies where they did those little Nintendo DS and the brain game, Brain Quest or whatever, in seniors' homes, and it actually helped diminish the amount of people getting Alzheimer's and dementia, which is really cool. So as much as we have issues with hearing, we have to exercise this. Also exercise your brain too, because I am finding things that I love every single day, and it's because I challenge myself. So that's my message to you. Always challenge yourself. Don't let the fear of being in pain stop you from doing things that you might enjoy. So that's all I want to say. If I think of anything else fun, I will do another video and I will update you guys. But I am starving, so I am going to go eat. See you later. Bye.